and wish I was special. You're so very special. And I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing? I don't belong here. I don't
Welcome to the room. Welcome to the room.
I wanna have control. I want a perfect body.
Welcome to the room.
I want a perfect soul. I want you to notice.
Introducing a new reading format. I will now be doing readings for the Zodiacs.
I wish I was special,
So,
but I'm a creep.
I'll be doing Zodiac horoscopes. I'll be doing a full moon horoscope.
What the hell am I
And I'll be doing a
doing
new moon horoscope from now on.
when I don't belong here? Whoa, whoa, she's running out again.
Palo Santo.
She's running out. She run, run, run,
Little Radiohead.
Whatever makes you happy, whatever you want. You're so very special.
Little tobacco for the spirits.
I wish I was special, but I'm a creep. I'm a widow. What the hell am I doing? I don't belong here. I don't belong here.
All right. So, I have decided to do something new. I have decided that I am going to take folks through a zodiac sign introduction and then pull one card for that zodiac sign. So what we're going to be doing is we are going to be covering the sign itself, the tarot card that's associated with that sign, and then different aspects of the sign. And then I will be doing pulling one card for that sign, all right? So this reading is going to be for Capricorn rising, Capricorn sun signs, and Capricorn moons. So anybody that has a Capricorn sun, moon, or rising sign, okay? And if you want to know what I suggest that if you're going to be hanging out with me for these readings and things like that going forward, you might want to get your own personal chart for you to get a complete chart, your birth chart, you will need to know the city you were born in, and you will need to know the time that you were born in so that you can get an accurate chart. I feel like I need some tequila too. So one of the reasons why I decided to do this is because I'm a teacher. And one of the things I'm noticing is that a lot of people, you know, I follow a lot of different, yes, I drink my tequila straight when I drink it. A lot of the teachers, you know, I follow a lot of different folks on YouTube who do readings, but there's really only like one or two that I really stand for. One being Amber Khan. Hey, Carmen. Hey, Renee. Hey, Brandy. Oh my God, Brandy. Brandy, your baby is so cute. Oh my God, I can't even take it. Hey, Anna. So yeah. So one of the things that I've noticed is that there's a lot of folks out there giving a lot of information, and a lot of it is off. A lot of it is off. A lot of it is not thorough. And so I have decided to put myself out there a little bit more. And let me just say, you know, it's like putting myself out there in this way, like doing readings and stuff, can be a little shaky, you know, because this stuff is still seen as kind of woo-woo and kind of out there. And so, you know, thanks to the folks that have come and like hung out with me and are watching my readings and things like that, because it definitely can be thought of as a little woo-woo, you know, for folks that aren't used to talking about these kind of subjects. And I myself have not been super consistent. I started getting more consistent this summer with my readings, but I usually keep these things, you know, in the past I've kept them pretty quiet, pretty covert, unless it's been with people that like know me, like people that are like my students, or like people that are like down with the shit I'm down with. You know, I usually keep this stuff pretty quiet. So, and there are still some things that I will not be sharing on social media, you know, but it's like I am definitely putting myself out there. A lot of readers, they don't show their face, you know what I mean? So I'm definitely making myself more vulnerable and by putting this kind of information out there. But like I said, man, there's just people out there that are not giving good information, and they're definitely spreading fear through their readings. And for me, that's not why we're here. You know, those of us that consider ourselves to be metaphysicians or healers, like we're here to raise the vibration if we can. We're not here to spread fear. And I'm seeing a lot of fear mongering, and people are already afraid enough. So I decided to put myself out there a little bit more, as if I could be more public. And, you know, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing a basic introduction to all the zodiac signs. Okay. That's where I'm going to start. And I'm going to be doing that all year. Prayerfully, I can stay consistent. I've marked it out in my calendar. And prayerfully, I will be able to stay consistent so that I can give people an overview of each zodiac, the things that are associated with that zodiac, and then pull a card for that particular sign. And then, of course, doing the new moon reading and the full moon reading. And then once I go through the zodiacs, my plan is to then move into the chakra system. All right. So that's my plan, is to start simple and then get more complex. Okay, so we are starting again with Capricorn because we are in Capricorn season. And Capricorn season, and I took notes, so because I am a spiritual nerd. So that's the other reason why I'm doing this. And I'm like, folks ain't gonna be out here giving like crazy information, right? So, so Capricorn season starts in December. We just actually switched over into Capricorn season on December 22nd. It was a full moon. I did a reading that night. And typically you'll find with most of the horoscopes, it's typically between like the transit from one zodiac sign to another zodiac sign is typically between like the 19th and the 23rd, right? So the end of one sign and going into another sign. Oh, you like my cigar? Yeah, you know, I got my cigar, I got some tequila. I'm like in full bruja today. So yeah, so Capricorn. So I have a Capricorn rising. And the rising sign is typically how you present yourself to the world in the zodiac, right? Your sun sign, for those of you that have a Capricorn sun, your sun sign is really about your personality, the things that influence your personality. Your rising sign is sometimes how you present to the world, right? And then your moon sign is like your secret desires and things like that, and like really influencing like how you move in the world. All right. So we went into Capricorn on December 22nd. It was a full moon. And so all of the signs have a tarot card that goes along with it. And so the tarot card for Capricorn is the Devil card, for those of you that do not know. I'm looking for the Devil card right now. And typically it's interesting because the Devil card has to do with being domineering. It has to do with being willful. It also has to do with being practical. It also has to do with being addicted. It can, in certain readings, it can have to do with being addicted either to substances or to people, sexual addiction. So this is the Devil card. So this is the Capricorn card. And I'm also going to be just like putting my own little thoughts, whatever, into these things. So for me, I think it's interesting that Capricorn is the Devil card of all cards. So Capricorn, the actual sort of association that's associated with Capricorn is the sea goat. People think it's just the goat, but actually in ancient mythology, it's actually the sea goat, right? And so y'all might want to look that up. Capricorn is, so here it's so the tarot card that it's associated with is the Devil card. It is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is Saturn is the planet of lessons, limitation, restriction. It can be a super challenging planet because it is definitely restricting. And so sometimes that's why Capricorns can come off kind of cool, kind of reserved, kind of cold even. Of course, again, it is the sea goat, so they can be very stubborn. They can be very sort of focused, very methodical as they inch toward their goals, of course, because we know that goats go up hills, right? So Capricorns are here to work, right? So for me, having this Capricorn rising, it's not surprising that a lot of Capricorns can be looked at as workaholics, etc., because the goat is here to do hard things. If you need somebody to get you through a hard thing, you want to look to a Capricorn for the most part, because they can help you get through that hard thing, right? So let's see what else is associated with our darling Capricorns. And I'm so grateful for my Capricorn rising, because also most Capricorns, very goal oriented, right? Very business oriented. So there's also archangels that are associated with each zodiac sign. And so the archangel that is associated, hey Patrice, the archangel that's associated with Capricorn is the archangel Orphiel, Orphiel, right? And so what I have been doing since December 22nd, when we went into Capricorn, I have been working with Archangel Orphiel. So, and I've never done that before. I'm doing new things. I'm doing new things. So, and it's been helping me. So Archangel Raphael is really about, obviously, right, it's associated with Capricorn work. So she is very good at helping you set up structures, setting business plans, and things like that. So when I was in my meditation on the 22nd, talking to this archangel, I was like, you know, I really want you to help me. And so what I've done since then is I've set up my business plan for the year. I've set up my investment plans for the year. I've structured out all my bills for the year. Like, I just been like on it, like getting all the business together, financial, like hell, all of it, getting it together. And it's funny because it was like last week or so, and I was like, damn, I'm doing all this stuff. Like, I didn't even realize that archangel energy has really pushed me forward in a really beautiful way. Right? What else? Capricorn is a feminine sign. So all of the signs are either masculine or feminine, right? It is associated with earth. Its element is earth. As you all know, that all the zodiac signs are either earth, air, fire, or water. Hey, Nina. And it is a cardinal sign of the zodiac. So that means it's leading us into earth, the earth element, right? So the cardinal signs are the signs that lead us in, right? So like for me, Libra is the cardinal sign of air sign, right? So we enter the air element through Libra, right? And so Libra is often looked at as the big brother of the air sign, right? We're like the stodgy older brother sometimes. All right. So I have double cardinal, right? Capricorn, rising, Libra sun. So double stubbornness to play with. The crystal that's associated with Capricorn is garnet. And the danger for Capricorns are secrets coming up from the past, which I find is really interesting, right? And also people holding secret resentments against Capricorn is also a danger for them. People holding secret resentments because of either their reservedness or what they perceive as their coldness or their sort of aloofness. So that is the danger for Capricorn. There was something else I wanted to talk about. What was it? Oh, the books that I'm referencing. So the books that I'm referencing for the Archangel is Working with Archangels, right? By Theolyn Cortens. And this book is really amazing because what you will see is that this book actually lays out for you. It has like this really cool wheel. And so the wheel shows you like, let's see, Capricorn. So here's Capricorn, and then it's Raphael, and then it's Cardinal, and then it's Earth. So this is a dope book, right? Let's see, what else do you need to know? And then it goes into detail about each archangel. So that's one book that I'm referencing. And then this book that I've had since, Lord have mercy, I don't know, since the creation of dirt, the only astrology book you'll ever need. So these are like mainstay books of mine that I reference. And then for the tarot, I have several books that I reference for the tarot. So I have the Pictorial Key to the Rider-Waite Tarot, which is sort of the traditional tarot. I have, oh gosh, this other book. Obviously, you can see it is well worn to the point where, hello, pages that have been, right? That's crazy, right? But it's been well worn. So this is Tarot Made Easy. Why I like this is because we know that the tarot is based on archetypes, but what I love about this particular book is that it actually breaks down different associations with the card. So let's go to the Devil card. Let's go to the Devil card. And obviously, it's really, really good for beginners, but the more you get into your tarot journey, you will be working from intuition, what you know about the card, et cetera, right? So let's go to that old Devil. Okay. Just so I can show you how this book breaks down. All right. So this book breaks down, not only, it breaks down the number that's associated with the card, the focus of the card, desire, romance, the unexpected, right? So whatever, work, career, your emotional state, finances, time. But my favorite part of this book is because it has special guidance. And the special guidance is broken up between mundane, things of the everyday, things of this earth, and then the esoteric. So it gives you a mundane guidance, and then it gives you an esoteric guidance, which is amazing. All right. So we're not going to get too deep into that because this is not a tarot reading. This is about Capricorn. But I just want to let you know sort of where I get my references from. And then there's another book that I've had for a long time. I think this was the first tarot book. Yeah, this was the first tarot book I ever bought. And this is Learning the Tarot. It's all right. I mean, it's whatever. It's fine. It's just like a basic tarot book. It's fine. Whatever. As you can see, one of the tarot cards is cut out because I cut out that picture so I could put it on a vision board 100 years ago. All right. So those are my references. Those are the basics of Capricorn. And again, that's what we're going to be doing, right? Every month from now on, giving you those little overviews. So if you have a Capricorn moon, a Capricorn rising, or a Capricorn sun, then you might want to grab yourself a garnet crystal to work with. Hey, Evan, I'll see you tomorrow. I hope you registered for the class. You might want to grab yourself a garnet crystal. You might want to work with Archangel Raphael, because again, I will be working with Archangel Raphael until we dip into Aquarius season next month, and then I'll move on to the Archangel for that. All right. What else might you want to do? Well, you could also think about, because the Devil card has to do with willfulness, dominance, abuse, addictions, etc. You might want to think about ways that you can loose yourself from those things between now until the time that we go into Aquarius season. That could be something interesting that you work on as well. Those of you that, and you can also actually look, if you do have your birth chart, you can also actually look and see where Capricorn is in your chart beyond the sun, moon, rising, because that could be interesting as well. But we ain't getting into planets and houses and all that right now, because that would just be too much. Okay, so let's see what fell out of the deck. Interesting. All right, so 6 of Swords. 6 of Swords. So this would be, again, for any of you Capricorn folks out there, your card for the rest of the season will be the 6 of Swords. So stepping away from things that no longer are causing you, things that are causing you harm, things that are stopping you, again, things of obstacles and things like that. And how interesting, because as we said, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, right? And so we know that Saturn is about limitations. It's about restriction. We already talked about that. It's about lessons, right? So how beautiful to have this 6 of Swords during Capricorn season, moving away from things that limit you, limiting ideas, limiting behaviors. Again, thinking about how the Devil card, oh, Devil card, where are you, darling? I shuffled and I lost you. Thinking about how the Devil card is the card for Capricorn, right? So how can you move away from those addictions? How can you move away from those things that are holding you back, those things that you think that you cannot live without? Yeah? Man, how can you move away from that? How can you separate yourself? How can you begin to separate yourself before we go into Aquarius season, right? Because again, we know that Aquarius, well, those of you might not know, but Aquarius is about adventure and things like that. So how can you move away from the restriction of Capricorn? How can you sail away from that? How can you move to a new horizon? How can you move towards your freedom over these next couple of weeks, right? So that might be something that you want to think about. So we've talked about the Archangel, right? Archangel Raphael. So wouldn't it be interesting to call in Archangel Raphael over these next couple of weeks until we go into Aquarius season to help you create the structures? Because again, we said that Archangel Raphael is about structure. So what new structures might you need to create to move away from the things that are limiting you, the things that are restricting you, right? Does that make sense? I'm trying to think if there's anything else. So yeah, how can you use the energy of Capricorn to move you forward instead of keeping you stuck or moving you backward, right? So I think that's it. These are not going to be long, like the full moon and the new moon. This is real cute. This is cute. This is cute. This is cute. Quick overview. A little about the tarot. How do you work with the archangels? Yeah. The other thing that I want to do is I want to, you got to say more than how, dear. Adriana, that's me. You got to ask me, what do you mean how? One of the other things I'm thinking about doing is looking at the chakras that are associated with each zodiac as well, but there's lots of varying information out there. And in all of my chakra books, I don't see any chakra books that, I don't see any, in my books, I don't see where the zodiacs are attached to the chakra, and I don't want to like go online and find it. So that's going to take me a minute. Adriana, please go into more detail and I'll answer your question. And if anybody else has questions for me, just put them in the chat as well. Hey, Oliver Williams, how are you? So, oh, great. How do I move away from those things? Okay. What a great question. So, what I would suggest is that you work with the Archangel Raphael, Orphiel, and ask her what you need to do to move away from those things, right? Because again, I don't know what those things are that are holding you back. I don't know what those limitations are. But what I can say is that why don't you use the energy of the season? We know what Capricorn's about. I just gave you a quick and dirty little overview. So how can you use the energy of the season to work for you? So for example, one of the things that I did, let's see, where is it? Because I wanted some help. I'm going to have to go into I'm going to have to go further into my 2019 calendar. Let's see. Where is it? Was it Embryo? I think it was Embryo. Divine Inspiration Music. Hold on. Let's see. Because I had a question. Who is the problem solver? Okay, here we go. All right. So, for example, Archangel Ambriel, I'm getting way ahead, but Archangel Ambriel, she is the Archangel of Gemini. right? And so we know Gemini rules communication, it rules learning. You know, I have a Gemini moon, and so I'm always devouring information. So I got so many doggone books and things like that because I love information and new knowledge, right? And I talked about in my last reading how Libra as the cardinal sign, going back to olden time days when we were telling stories around the fire, etc. And I got this from Amber Khan. This is not Zoe's information. I got this from Amber Khan. So according to Amber Khan, Libra brings people to the fire, right? We're like, hey, we finna have a family meeting. We finna have a family meeting. It's finna go down. So we bring people to the fire, right? And then Aquarius tells the story. Aquariuses are the storytellers. Oprah is an Aquarius, right? So Aquarius is about expansion, etc. And so Aquarius takes the information and they make a beautiful story about it, right? Full of inspiration and good stuff. And then Gemini takes that information and takes it out into the world in a beautiful, expansive, crazy way. Think about somebody like Prince, who's a Gemini, right? They take it out into the world and give it to you, right? So because Archangel Ambriel is the archangel of Gemini, what I did is I wrote down, Archangel Ambriel, how can I take the divine messages out into the world? Because she is also about divine inspiration. So that was my question to her. So what I do is before I go to bed, because a lot of things happen with the subconscious, I write a little note down, right? So Archangel Ambriel, can you give me some divine inspiration on how I can take, hey cousin, happy belated birthday cousin. I was with your father on Christmas Day. I'm so happy you here. So yeah, so that's what I did, right? Because for me, again, using the energy of the season. Gemini is about communication. Ambrielle is about divine inspiration. And she is also, I wrote it down. And she's also about problem solving. So that was my question. How can I take a divine message out into the world? How can I get it to reach a broader audience? And hence, here I am having this conversation with you all. So the thing about it is, whatever you want to move past, use that archangel energy. Write it down before you go to bed. We can do all kinds of really cool things with our subconscious mind, right? So write it down before you go to bed. Pay attention to your dreams. Happy holidays. Pay attention to your dreams, right? Ask for the way that you want your message to come through. And then pay attention. Do you want your message to come to you in a dream? Do you want your message to come to you through a song? Do you want your message to come through you through a conversation? All of these things are possible, but these muscles have to be used. Another example from my private life, I had a question a couple of weeks ago, and before I went to bed, I was like, how can I do X? Oh, I know what it was. I was thinking about, I'm always thinking about moving to Atlanta. I am always thinking about moving back to Atlanta. And so I pulled a card, and before I went to bed, I was like, can I get a divine message about moving back to Atlanta? The next day, I went to get a shape up from my barber. And he was like, so how's the movie? How's this? How's that? And I was like, we're still in post-production. It's a long process, blah, 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 blah. We're talking about this stuff. He says to me, maybe you should move to Atlanta. Maybe you should move to Atlanta. They're doing all kinds of movie stuff there. I was like, Mook, you are not going to believe this. I was like, last night before I went to bed, I asked for a divine message about whether or not I should move to Atlanta. And he was like, no. And the thing about it was, I had no appointment to get my hair done, nothing. Like literally went to bed, woke up that day, looked at my edge. I was like, oh, I need to edge up. Didn't have an appointment, rolled by the barber salon. There was nobody in the barber salon. It was like 11 o'clock. This was like last week because I got my edge up like last Monday. It was like last Monday because I didn't even know if he was open on Mondays or not. Rolled up. There was nobody there. He was like, I can take you. And boom, he gave me that message. So just like how you just asked me, how can you move past those things? Ask for guidance and then pay attention. The thing about it is, so many times we ask the question and then we don't be paying attention to the answer, or we get the answer and we don't like it, and so then we move on to another thing, and then nothing ever changes, and then 3 months later you come to a reader like me and then you ask me again how you can make the changes, when really your guides didn't already told you back in December how to make the changes. So I say all that to say, I feel you've already been given the message on how to move past those things. I feel like you've been getting these messages for quite a long time. I feel like these messages, these answers have come to you through friends, through Instagram posts, through songs, through little whispers in your ear. Girl, you know you don't need to be doing that no more, but you are probably still wanting to do those things. On some level, you're getting some kind of pleasure from them or something, because sometimes, we get pleasure from pain. So, yeah, I feel like you already know. I feel like you already know. You probably are just not ready to make the change or whatever. And it's probably just not painful enough for you yet. That's most people. Yeah, I know. That's how we are. So I told you how. And maybe the question for you, Adriana, is why. Maybe you don't have the why yet about why you should change. Maybe you have a surface level reason of why, but maybe what you really need to do is go and sit somewhere quiet and ask spirit why you should change. Because maybe also the reason why you think you should change is too superficial and it's not enough to move you in the direction. Mm-hmm. Because again, man, this can be fun. This can be so fun, right? And we get so addicted to pain, okay? And this might not seem so fun. So you might just need a little bit more convincing about that change that you need to make, okay? And then do all those other things, right? Use the energy of the season. If you have a garnet crystal, I don't know, did you tell me what your astrological sign is? Are you a Capricorn? Do you have a Capricorn moon or rising? If you do, grab that crystal, go get with Archangel Raphael, and just get quiet and just ask, right? How and why? And this is getting a little further than I intended, but you never know what's going to come through. And this isn't just for you, this is for anyone, because we're talking about moving away from things. Sometimes we don't move away from things because that means we're going to have to move away from people. Oh, you're a Capricorn. Well, Capricorns can be very loyal, even to crappy people who don't deserve it. So it might be also, you asked the how, you asked me the how, I gave you back the why. You might also need to look at, this is for anybody, the who. Who do you feel will be hurt or left behind if you move towards your better self? Because that could be the fear too, right? Who might you have to leave behind? Whose texts might you have to start ignoring, right? And then the what. What is the Christopher? All my favorite people. And then the what, right? What might the backlash be for me moving away from this and moving into this. Because let's face it, everybody isn't always down with our changes, are they, Capricorn? You know, there's certain signs where people get very used to you being around and having their back, even when they don't deserve it, right? And so what is the backlash? Oh, she thinks she too good. Oh, he think he better than everybody, right? Because secretly, Capricorn, because you do have a high standard of living, we know that, and I'm talking a higher elevation of Capricorn. Not that we don't do our dirt, because we know Capricorn, you know we can do our dirt as well, okay? But for the most part, we can be pretty upstanding, steady people, right? And so people can get very used to low-key using the Capricorn energy to their advantage. So then there's the what. What is the backlash going to be if I step away from this person? So who, what, when? I don't have a win. I don't have a win. But that's what but those are the things, right? Those are the things that keep us in these devil situations. And what better sign? Now it's making sense to me. Thank you. Now it's making sense to me why Capricorn is the remember in the beginning of this I said I wasn't sure why the devil card is the card for Capricorn. But now it's making sense because our loyalty can get us into trouble, because our stubbornness, the stubbornness of that sea goat, that climbing up the hill, that addiction to the hard work, that addiction to thinking we can change people, that addiction to us thinking we have the answers to everybody, which also pisses people off. Damn. So many reasons for Capricorns to get on people's nerves. I love it. I love it. All right. That's it. No more. I've gone too far. I've got 5 minutes left before I have to charge up this computer, and I think I left my charger in my bedroom. So does anybody have any last questions as we wrap up this amazing first reading? And who better to lead this new format that I'm doing than the Cardinal Capricorn? Who better to lead the new structure than Capricorn? Who better? Who better? Capricorn, I love you, Capricorn. I'm gonna have a little shot tequila to you, Capricorn. Y'all got it going on. For those of you that are in the Brooklyn area, I do have my first, again, Capricorn energy. My God, it's just like, even to me, it's like I do this stuff, but even to me, it's still like the revelations are so amazing to even me still. And I hope it's always that way. But tomorrow I have my first class, Healing from the Front Lines, right here in Brooklyn. And so I'll be doing some movement. I'll be doing like some Q&A. Like I said this before, I don't want to go into that too much. But again, it's like so Capricorn energy. Like as I think about it, like of course it was on the 29th because I wanted to have it on the 15th. And Spirit was like, no, you need to do it at the end of the month. And I was like, no, Spirit, ain't nobody going to be in New York City. People are going to be away. Ain't nobody coming to try to. And then, so I set up the whole thing with Heal House for the 15th. Why did they come back to me and be like, you know what? We're booked. The only days we have available are the 29th and the 30th. Capricorn season, new business ventures. Let's see what Chris Livesey has to say. Let me put on my reading glasses. Baby, and the devil has shown himself recently in my life as hidden trauma. So yes to what you saying, Mama. Chris Livesey, me, you, and Vesta still need to have our little at my house. So we need to make that happen. But again, so yeah, if you all have not registered for my class tomorrow at Heal House, please do so in Brooklyn. I'm going to be doing little impromptu readings like this. We're going to be doing movement. We're going to be doing guided visualization for 2019, what we want to release, what we want to pull in. We're going to be doing all that good stuff. I'm going to be doing meditation. And then again, it's going to be just like a lot of Q&A with me because people want to know about manifestation and stuff like that. And, I'm here to share it. So thank you so much for, it's still early in the day. So thank you so much for hopping on and hanging out. I can tell you to save the date for one more thing. I will be doing the new moon in Capricorn reading on January 6th. That is also the day of the Epiphany. That is, Uranus is also going direct on that day in Aries, and it's a partial solar eclipse. So it's going to be litty on January 6th. So, damn, I may even invite some people to my house for this reading. Chris Livesey, what are you doing on January 6th? I might even invite some folks over and like make it a thing because the energy is just going to be. So save the date, January 6th. And then the next reading will be on the full moon in Leo on January 21st. When is your birthday? The 6th or the 21st? Patrice. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do. Yeah, so it's going to be lit. Partial solar eclipse. So on that day, I'll be talking about eclipses, what eclipses are. Uranus again is going direct in Aries. I might talk a little bit about that. I'm just teaching myself about the planets right now. So the more I learn on that, so I'm not as confident about that yet. So I probably will only just talk a little bit about that. Because I really only like talk about what I really know. So in true Capricorn fashion. So that's all I got, y'all. Super excited. I will see you on January 6th. Have a phenomenal new year. I might also do something reading the energy from all of 2019. I used to do that for people individually. We'll see how I feel. If that happens, it might be on New Year's Day on the 1st. I don't know. I gotta see. But anyway, love y'all. Talk to you soon. Bye. End live video. There we go.